On today's episode of Bill and Frank's Guilt-Free Pleasures, we finally talk about a song that Frank has been desperate to feature on this podcast.
I talk maybe a little bit too much on the history and my love of New Jack Swing.
And we talk a lot about RMTs and genies.
This is our discussion on Johnny Gill's Rub You the Right Way. Bill, I've been told by a very small population of the people that have listened to the podcast that sometimes we say things that they disagree with. Sometimes we get a little bit annoying and we might rub them the wrong way.
Oh, I see. Yes. Okay.
Today's podcast, we are all about rubbing you the right way.
Yes, dear listener, you sit back as we rub you the right way.
I am very excited about today's episode. After 3 years of trying to convince Bill, I finally wore him down and we are exploring Johnny Gill's Rub You the Right Way.
Yes, I'm finally ready to do it. And I think the reason is because, of course, we're a family podcast.
Yeah.
We were able to actually read what the song was about. I thought it was about maybe something else, but it turns out it's actually about something much different.
No, it's all about genies and massage therapists.
Yeah, and we will prove to you, listener, as we work through the song, that this is the case.
Absolutely. And it has nothing to do with anything carnal.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, hey, Frank, Johnny Gill is a preacher's kid.
That's true.
And in the history of music, preacher's kids kind of stay on the straight and narrow.
Exactly.
That is part of the whole scripture.
They walk that path.
That's right. Like Marvin Gaye, Al Green, they sing about straight up G-rated things.
Absolutely, they do. Yeah. Heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah.
It's about grapes.
Right.
And an in for the California Raisins to have a successful music career.
California Raisins were great.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, we might as well jump into Johnny Gill's history a bit here. So he was born in Washington in 1966. Son of a preacher, like you said.
Yep.
He grew up singing in a gospel group with his brothers.
Yes.
So him and his three brothers, they sang at his father's church, and then eventually his parents split and his mother took the group to various other churches.
Right. And they were called Little Johnny and the Wings of...
Yeah, Little Johnny and Wings of Faith. Yeah.
Exactly. And so his mom worked 3 jobs.
That's bonkers.
To keep them from moving into a neighborhood she didn't want to move into. So she ended up having these boys and working 3 jobs just to kind of keep things going. And they said no one would have known different.
Yeah.
But the amount of effort she put into making sure their lives were on the right track was incredible.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Gill, he met a girl at school.
Right.
Stacy Ladisa. And she was already a gospel singer. I think she had cut a bunch of demos and was in the process of getting signed.
Right.
So Johnny Gill and Stacy actually started collaborating a little bit together.
Right.
Then they started a relationship together.
Now, I think he was only like 14 when he was possibly signed, or 16.
16, I think.
Through her, she had an agent or something who got him to give a demo tape, but he literally just sang into a tape. No mastering or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And at 16, I think his parents were getting back together.
Okay.
He ended up going to New York. Well, the rest of his family ended up going down to Georgia. He went to New York at 16.
And it is crazy. If you listen to the first single from his first album, which is just called Johnny Gill from 82. So the kid is 16 years old.
Yeah.
Listen to his voice in that song, Super Love.
When you look at me, honey, can't you see? You make me one happy fellow. True happiness surrounds the shares it goes. Because of you, I'm never blue, no.
It does not sound like a 16-year-old at all there.
Do you remember what we sounded like at 16?
Yeah, awkward.
Yeah. My voice was in between registers.
I think I was still basically cracking.
Yeah. Oh, I was all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the album didn't do a whole lot at that
Right.
point. Then he sang a duet with Stacey.
Right.
And then I think they cut an album
They
together.
did. They wanted them to be like the Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell sort of thing.
Yeah. And then he went off and did another solo album,
Right.
which is called Chemistry in 85.
And I think this started a buzz, even though it didn't sell a
It
lot.
didn't do a whole lot, no.
It did have a buzz in the community of singers. Like they knew it, they liked his voice, but he had yet to really find his groove,
Yeah.
quite literally.
Yeah, exactly. After that happens, Michael Bivins reaches out to him. So
Right.
Michael Bivins is in New Edition at this point.
Yep.
They just voted out Bobby Brown because he was a bit of a wild boy.
Right. And Ralph Tresvant is doing a solo album and they think he's going to quit.
Yeah, they think he's going to quit. So they say, like, we need a new lead singer. So they bring in Johnny Gill.
Right.
And this is something that really confuses me a little bit. Michael Bivins recruits him.
Yeah.
The original lineup of New Edition is Bobby Brown, Ralph Tresvant, Michael Bivins, Ronnie DeVoe, and Ricky Bell.
Okay.
So Bobby Brown is out. Ralph Tresvant they think is on his way out. They bring in Johnny Gill.
Now, when you say they, from what I heard, it's really just Michael Bivin.
Yeah.
Who even gets him signed. And then they have a band meeting.
Yeah.
And Ralph Tresvant shows up and they're all looking at Johnny Gill and they're saying, who's this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
So it sounds like Bivin is kind of the brains behind things. I mean, isn't he the guy who got Boys to Men signed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the brains of the operation here.
Exactly. So the band is at odds with, okay, what's this guy doing here? It's like, we don't want to split our profits with him.
Right.
And Johnny Gill, the consummate professional, says, whatever, I'm here, I'm signed with the band, I'll do whatever I need to do.
Right.
And this is a guy who has 2 solo albums, a duet album already out there.
He's also how many years older?
Yeah, he's 21 at this point in
Right.
87.
Right.
The rest of New Edition, they're all kids, basically, right?
Right.
So he gets one song on the album, and the album is called Heartbreak. So they're going in a bit of a more mature direction with
Right.
this. So he has one song called Boys to Men,
Yeah.
and he absolutely just gives it on
Right.
the song.
So the story behind it, I was listening to an interview with him today,
Mm-hmm.
and he said he was always content to stay in the background for their pictures. He said when they were doing like group photos, they'd all be fighting about who was at the front and where they'd be. He always knew he'd just stay at the back.
Yeah.
He was fine to do whatever they asked. And then when they said, you can sing this song, he's like, you just gave me some mediocre song. And
Yeah, no one wanted to do
no
it.
one wanted to do it. And he says, oh, fine. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go nuts on it. And so
Yeah.
I said, when he got into the studio and he sang Boys to Men, everyone in the studio was just dead silent and just staring like, what did we just witness? And
Yeah.
he's just basically trying to show the band, here's what I can do.
Yeah.
You're going to give me garbage. I'll show you what I can do
Yeah.
with it.
Turn garbage into gold is
Yeah.
what he did, because listen to his voice. It is just so powerful and so mature. This is in 88 when the album comes out.
Right.
And then by 1990, there's Johnny Gill doing his own solo thing again.
My goodness. And this is right in the Frank Pearson wheelhouse of his favorite music.
Absolutely. 1990, Johnny Gill's third album, which is also called Johnny Gill, same
Yep.
as his first album. It's a New Jack Swing classic.
Right. Tell us more about New Jack Swing, Frank.
Okay. So we've done a couple of New Jack Swing songs. We've done Motown Philly by Boys to Men. We've done Night and Day, which is
I'll be sure.
I'll Be Sure, which is New Jack adjacent. We've done Color Me Bad. New Jack Swing is a subgenre of R&B. It was massively popular in 1990. I think that was kind of the heyday of
Yeah.
like the biggest year.
And it brought in the decade. Because
Yes.
you have, in one world, there's grunge coming just a little bit later. But really, the thing that's taking over the airwaves is New Jack Swing in terms of sales and all that.
Yeah, and what it did is it kind of combined R&B singing and hip hop.
Yeah,
Because hip hop was seen as street, and hip hop and rap artists saw R&B singers as being too soft. Well, this combined the two together.
Right.
So it kind of started in around 86, and Keith Sweat probably had the first like big song in 87.
Was that I'm Gonna Make You Keith?
No. And it wasn't I'm Gonna Make You Sweat.
Okay.
It was I Want Her.
Okay.
It was the first like big New Jack Swing song to do really, really well. A few months later, Bobby Brown comes out. My Prerogative
yes.
goes to number one.
And we did Every Little Step.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Did we do Every Little Step?
Yeah, with Kitsch.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Anyways, and I said I wasn't going to drone on about New Jack Swing, but I just love this music so, so much.
Could I tell you about the history of Genesis now? It is so good, this stuff. And I think a way to describe it, I just came up with it, Frank. These artists you might describe as both lovers and fighters.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing that I've noticed about New Jack Swing, there's a time and place for subtlety, and it is not in any sort of New Jack Swing song.
And when you hear the sort of either bed track, maybe you call it, of a fast New Jack Swing song, an up-tempo, rather.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no room for it. You got to give her. This is for the dance floor.
Yeah. But also, when they slow it down for the crooning ballad,
Oh my goodness, yeah.
my.
Oh, nicely done. Nicely done, Frank. All right, so there we go. We got our New Jack Swing history.
Okay, I just have two more things. I have
sorry.
so many more things I want to say about New Jack
continue.
Swing.
Okay.
Okay. Most people wouldn't know, but the best-selling New Jack Swing album of all time is actually Michael Jackson's Dangerous from 91, which I never really would have considered New Jack Swing until I think back on it. It's like, no, it has all the elements.
It does. He's just so odd and strange. Because I guess even Invincible has like trap, maybe, but it's hard to tell because he's so strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like its own special genre of music.
Yeah, Michael Jackson just seems like a complete subsect of music altogether.
Yeah, because when I hear New Jack Swing, I think of guys who are seducers.
Yeah.
And they're strong. And no offense to the Michael Jackson
fan base,
but I don't see him really embodying that. He seems kind of this weird ethereal presence that shows up from another planet.
Yeah.
But when I see Johnny Gill dancing like his life depends on it,
yeah,
there's a man who
embodies New Jack Swing.
Yeah, yeah.
He was always nervous about the dancing when he joined New Edition.
Right.
Because he traditionally was not known as a dancer.
Right.
But I've watched the video for Rub You the Right Way a number of times. I watched his performance on the Arsenio Hall show. The man's got moves.
He does, and he puts as many as possible in a 3.5 minute span.
He must be exhausted.
I was exhausted watching it.
He's an athlete, really.
Yeah.
Anyways, long drawn out history on New Jack Swing. I'm sorry about that, but I just get really excited. Also, did you know that probably the very first New Jack Swing album that really did well would be Control by Janet Jackson?
Okay, very good. I want to go back to Michael Jackson. Here's why I don't think Dangerous fits as well in the New Jack Swing. When you're talking about healing the world and freeing Willie,
yeah,
I know that sounds worse than I meant it to, but those songs all feel like this sort of hug the world, man in the mirror stuff. I know that's a different album.
Yeah.
But I feel New Jack Swing is very particular in its focus.
Yes.
And Michael Jackson, he can't help but want to be a savior.
He definitely has a messiah complex.
Right. I mean, so do we as podcasters.
Exactly.
Do you have any more you want to say about New Jack Swing? Or you're able to stop yourself?
I have so much more I want to say, but I also want this to be under an hour.
Okay. And you know what? I think we're going to have to do another New Jack Swing in the future.
Yeah, and don't worry, I will not be able to help myself, and I will talk more about New Jack Swing later. I know it for sure.
All right. So we have Johnny Gill's solo album.
Yes.
And he has got some incredible writers working with him.
Yeah, he has producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis working on this album.
And we've talked about them before in our Janet Jackson episode.
That's right, yeah.
It was for Escapade.
Yes.
Yes. And they wrote that, which was number 1 in the same year.
Yeah.
As this, and on the R&B charts.
Okay, so back to New Jack Swing real quick.
Oh,
we were going over the number 1 songs that came out that year, and the number of them that were related to New Edition, because Ralph Tresvant had a number 1 song in 1990 on the R&B charts.
Belle
Johnny
Biv
Gill
DeVoe.
did.
Yep.
Belle Biv DeVoe did. Bobby Brown must have.
It was the year before with the Ghostbusters 2
Yes,
song. But within a calendar year, I think you almost have every member of New Edition getting a number 1 on the R&B charts.
Yeah.
Also, going through the 1990 number ones for R&B
Yeah.
and comparing it to the Billboard, the R&B is far preferable.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So we have a bunch of songs we've actually featured, including Lisa Stansfield is in that year.
Yeah,
There's
that's right.
so many songs in that year. There's Whitney Houston. There's, well, every member of New Edition.
Yeah.
And the list just goes on and on. And you have Luther Vandross in December of 89 with Here and Now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which is
Quiet
just-
Storm.
Which is waiting, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
in the wings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Johnny Gill is recording this album, and Jam and Lewis, if we're going to be familiar here,
Sure.
they're producing this album. They have a number of songs, and they say Johnny Gill, his influence are like Stevie Wonder, some Teddy Pendergrass,
Oh, yeah.
Donny Hathaway. But with this song specifically, they were thinking, well, what would Teddy do if he were to do like an up-tempo, aggressive song?
Right. And they had two songs they're talking about, Close the Door and Turn Off the Lights.
Yes.
They said those are what they were thinking of.
Yeah, like the bedroom ballads.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what would Teddy Pendergrass do if there was a song like this?
Yeah.
And that's how Johnny Gill sang it.
Yeah, and Teddy Pendergrass, and oh man, I'm going.
Oh, here we go.
Here we
Okay.
go. So Teddy Pendergrass ended up being the lead singer for Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, and which is just a fantastic band. And
How did Harold Melvin feel about that?
I think,
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I don't know anything about the band.
sorry.
You played it for me for
Yeah.
about 2 hours last time we were at the border.
yeah, there's a whole long story, but
Yeah.
he did. If you don't know me by now, Don't Leave Me This Way. Like so many great, fantastic songs, and we're going to do a Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes song for sure, 100%. Yeah, so they're thinking, well, what would Teddy Pendergrass do if he had this aggressive sounding song to do? And let's be clear on this: the way Johnny Gill sings this is very aggressive.
Oh my
And
goodness.
it's just
Yeah.
so powerful.
Yeah.
So he has this song and he's going into the studio with it. And I guess what Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis do is they don't cut a demo of it and give it to the artist to listen to. They give them the song, like say, okay, this is the song, these are the lyrics, this is the musicality, blah, 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 blah. Now you interpret it. They
Yeah.
let the artist interpret what the song is supposed to be instead of having this preconceived notion and then, okay, just try and mimic this.
And Johnny Gill complained a bit about it, saying it was tough to work with him that way. But then they also said, well, he's also tough to work with because he doesn't like singing in the studio.
Yes.
He just wants to be on stage.
Yeah.
And so they had this system where they would just hang with the lead singer. And so, well, I guess it's his thing. They just hang with him and see what his mood is to see if his voice was right.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't push it, but they'd try to kind of almost trick him into doing the song.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's this whole way that they worked, which was pretty slow.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny hearing the stories about the album when they were recording it. And it all worked out.
Yeah.
And so when they had him up there and how they got him to sing is pretty cool.
Yeah. And these guys just worked wonders with this song. And there are two main samples that are used in the song, which I found out about a little bit more when I went on to whosampled.com, which is a fantastic site. And these samples show up throughout the course of the song. The first one would be Pump Up the Bass by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
That would explain how this song begins.
Yeah, Pump Up the Bass.
Right.
So let's go back for old time's sake. Yo, Jeff! Pump up the bass!
And then at about 44 seconds into the song, that's when this next sample first shows up, but it's used throughout the song as well. And it's Funky President by James Brown.
Nasty.
Hey, listen to the man.
Rap Godfather.
Payback.
Cold-blooded. People.
Yeah, it's so interesting, the samples that they use. And this is a period of time where I felt like the samples worked together to create a new sound in ways that some of the more late 90s things didn't. I felt like a lot of the Puff Daddy stuff just took
Yeah.
the hook and made it the song so you knew exactly what you were hearing.
Yeah.
But this felt way more creative.
Exactly, right? It would just sort of pepper in throughout the song instead
Yeah.
of being the song.
Yeah.
So we might as well just jump right into the lyrics here, seeing as how we already have the opening to it, which
Right.
is Pump Up the Bass. Hey!
Pump, pump, pump. So, Frank, what do you think that means?
I think they want us to turn up the radio
Right. Okay.
for that sweet song.
And you're going to have to press the bass boost.
Yeah.
Did you have bass boost on your
My sister had
devices?
it on her ghetto blaster. I didn't have it on my radio system because Rachel always got the nice things and
All right.
I got the hand-me-downs, which is why I wore a dress until I was 12.
Yeah. Well, middle child.
Yeah,
You worked out just fine.
Yeah, look at me. I don't go to therapy at all.
No,
ever.
no. Yeah, look at you. That's why we do the podcast.
Wait.
Well, that sounded a lot
was
meaner.
mean.
Yeah, I know it was. I thought it was clever, but it's
was clever.
The fine line between really vicious and clever.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump to verse 1.
Yeah. And we've alluded to this earlier that I think a lot of people think the song is about one thing, but we think it's about a couple of different things.
Yeah, and I think verse 1 really helps open that up.
Yeah.
What you've been missing in a man, I can supply it. Your wish is my command. I'll work hard to fill your needs, give you a lesson on what it is to...
What you've been missing in a man, I can supply it. Your wish is my command. I'll work hard to fill your needs, give you a lesson on what it is.
Who says these things, Frank? Your wish is my command.
Genies.
You're correct, okay? And this is a specific type of genie. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
We think it's a genie who doesn't really want to be a genie. It's a genie who wants to be a registered massage therapist.
Okay. That's your take on it.
Yeah.
I think it's a song between a genie and someone who rubbed the lamp
Oh.
who wants to become a registered massage.
Oh, so the genie is...
It's a
granting-
conversation song.
Oh, wow. So I never understood that the other person got to speak. So is the genie the one talking the whole time?
The genie is in verse 1.
Oh, okay. And then you think the rest is the other person speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, now I think it's the genie who got out of the bottle, ran off, and is trying to pursue his dreams of becoming a massage therapist.
Okay. And then eventually became Christina Aguilera.
Oh, man. We're stepping on each other's mixtapes, aren't we?
I'm not stepping on mine. Am I stepping on yours?
No.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. But no, you're not. But okay, it is my first song. This also, of course, is the movie I'm going to make. It's not Hallmark anymore. I think it's Disney After Dark.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Sorry.
Pre-chorus.
All right. Pre-chorus. Here we go.
So end of verse 1, give you a lesson on what it is to
Well, what is the lesson, right? And then here we go. Pre-chorus. Feel
feel
good.
good, baby.
Get undressed and slip on this rope. Relax.
Relax, darling.
Just sit back, prepare to be stroked.
Feel good, baby. Get undressed and slip on this road. Relax, darling. Just sit back, prepare to be stroked. Do you feel?
That is nothing but a massage.
Well, it's true because here's the thing. If it wasn't a massage,
Yes.
I don't think the person would ask someone to not only get undressed, but to also put on a robe.
Slip on a robe, yes.
Yeah. So if it was something else, they wouldn't ask the person to put on clothes.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's why this is a PG rated song.
Exactly. And prepare to be stroked, that's just rubbing down someone's back.
Right. I think it's Hot Rocks.
Yes. I will say, though, until I read the lyrics, and for as many years as I have loved this song, I thought the line was, get undressed and swim for this rope. I have no idea what that means.
I think that crosses with that Guns N' Roses video where he jumps off the boat and then Slash almost electrocutes himself while playing guitar.
How
and
many
there's the-
times has Slash almost electrocuted himself while playing guitar in a Guns N' Roses video?
Thank goodness it wasn't plugged in. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, ready for the massage therapy session to begin.
Yeah. And here's the chorus.
Yeah. Can you feel the magic in my hands? Now, are you sure this isn't the genie talking?
This is call and answer.
Oh, okay. When I touch and rub you the right way. Stroke applied with tenderness. When I hold and rub you the right way.
You feel the magic in my hands when I touch and rub you the right way. So apply with tenderness when I hold and rub you the right way.
there's also potentially another way that this could be taken as well.
Oh, tell me, Frank.
Like the start of the podcast, there's the saying that when someone annoys you, they rub you the wrong way. Maybe it is just someone that wants to become your friend.
Oh, it's a friendship song.
Yes, it's a song about friendship.
Can you feel the magic in my hands when I touch and rub you the right way?
Like maybe a gentle pat on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And just like, hey, I'm there for you, pal. And just like, you know what? Gee whiz, that's a nice feeling. That feels pretty neat to me.
Oh, okay. I never thought of it that way.
This guy's rubbing me the right way.
Yeah. Stroke applied with tenderness when I hold and rub you the right way. Now,
That could be a hug.
It could
like
be
a friendship hug.
Well, my thing, of course, is the genie in the massage therapy exam, because I understood this as an actual exam. And my worry is that when you are doing massage, I'm pretty sure in the courses they'd say you can't hold your patient. And I'm worried he might not become registered.
Yeah, okay.
Do you remember when they talk about like certain houses on streets in St. Catharines that were massage therapy houses and they had garbage bags up on the windows? And I never understood what that meant. Or I also think
I don't think they were massage therapies. Like, I don't think you could use your benefits at those places.
No, and that's what we were always told. So I'm worried that this genie is getting hooked up in the wrong places.
Bill, it's a PG song.
Well, yeah. Isn't it amazing? I thought it was about massage therapy, but it keeps moving towards a PG-13.
Yeah, or NC-17.
I do feel he should be careful that if you're doing massage therapy, you shouldn't hold your patient because it's going to get in the way of, your work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, verse 2, a light massage, a soft caress.
Right. Well, this is what he's doing, right? Whenever I give you a rub, I rub with happiness.
So he loves his job.
Yeah. Customer satisfaction is a guarantee.
That's nothing but a reference to being a good masseuse.
Yeah. So for your pleasure, I'm only here to please you.
Yeah.
All right.
A light massage, a soft caress. Whenever I do rub, I rub for happiness. Customer satisfaction is a guarantee. Send for your pleasure, I'm always here to please.
I want to feel good at the end of a massage. He's only there to make them feel good.
Sounds a
for
lot.
a job well done.
It does sound a lot like Polly's robot from Rocky IV.
Okay.
Well,
Explain.
Isn't this what the robot would talk about?
I can't remember. I don't remember any lines that the robot said.
She didn't give Polly a massage. Although, I mean, anything could happen. It was the 80s.
Yeah. What did the robot do?
Well, it just did whatever Polly wanted.
Oh,
It was his gift for his birthday.
That's right. So basically bringing him drinks.
Right. Amazing, though. Stallone cut out the robot in the new version of Rocky
That's
IV.
right.
You're the greatest. See you, sport.
See you.
Polly, who taught her to talk like that?
She loves me.
Oh.
All right, so then it goes back to the pre-chorus, right?
Yeah.
So hold on, don't let go. I'll show you pleasure like you've never known. And then we get that chorus, but the chorus starts to get even more infectious to me.
Yes.
Like just gets a little more powerful. And there's certain words that he just hits. And so when he says, can you feel? It's just not him saying feel. It's about 1,000 Johnny Gill saying,
yeah.
Feel the magic in my hands when I touch. And there's the 1,000 gills come out and rub you the right way. And then stroke applied with tenderness when I hold and rub you the right way.
The magic in my hands when I touch and rub you the right way. Apply with tenderness when I hold and rub you the right way.
Like, I'm going to completely butcher this.
Yeah.
But when he sings it, can you feel the magic in my hands? Like, he just growls.
Oh man, his
It's
voice.
so good.
Yeah. It's like an Olympics of New Jack Swing singing. And he's young, right? What is he? 23, 24 maybe at this point?
He'd be 24 at this
It's
point.
amazing. His voice is so mature. I mean, we've talked about this before that at such a young age he was there, but this is amazing. And this is for a young guy who, you might market him as a sex symbol or whatever. But,
Or a masseuse.
Or a masseuse.
Or a genie.
Or a genie. but he's got the goods.
Yes. Well, and that's what they did with this album. It was Johnny Gill, the man, at this point.
It's a really good album.
Oh, yeah. It's so good. But one of the things that I picked up listening to this before we started was in the chorus, particularly, listen to the keys in the background. They have this Ghostbusters feel.
Yeah.
It's almost like Ray Parker Jr.'s.
Okay.
It's just sort of there in the background. It's really, really, really cool.
Yeah. I think I remember this. And this leads us to that bridge 1 after the hold.
Yeah.
That's my Johnny Gill. And
really
rub
good.
you the right away. And then we get a little DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
There's 2 bridges in this.
Yeah.
So it goes from the mainland to an island.
Yeah.
And then
Takes us back
to the mainland.
So bridge 1 has the pump up the bass that we
Yeah.
heard at the beginning. And then we got the get busy, feel good. And then you got that instrumental part going in there.
Yeah.
And then pump, pump, pump.
And then, ho, 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 ah, ho.
Oh, yeah. And it
Yeah.
goes right to my favorite chorus.
Yes.
Which is the chorus, but my favorite chorus because the O's are bringing us in. And it's such a nice transition.
Yeah.
Oh, what a chorus. It's so good.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they just keep going back to the thing that is the best part of the song to me.
Yeah.
What brings
The
me
chorus,
joy
yeah.
is the chorus.
I love the chorus, but it goes from that chorus into that next bridge. And that next bridge that's it for me.
Right. So we went from Chorus Island
Yeah.
to Bridge 2. And Bridge 2, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Do you think Bridge 2 is one breath? It could be.
It could be, yeah, because it happened so fast. I'm going to try and say it
right,
all
here
in
we
one
go.
breath
Let's
to
do
see
this.
if it was actually one breath. I don't think I'm nearly the athlete that Johnny Gill is, but yeah.
Let's see what Frankie
All right, ready?
Gill can do.
Your every wish is my command, so get undressed, sit back, relax. Gonna rub you with my magic hands, give you what you're missing in a man. Stroke you with a soft caress, applied with so much tenderness. Hold on tight and don't let go, give you pleasures like you've never known before.
Right.
One breath, I did it.
You did it. But now when he got to known before, it was a whole other way of singing because he goes, no before.
Oh,
it's
exactly.
Just all mixed together. He's just like a rocket shooting up into the sky. And then we hit into chorus and then the outro,
Yeah.
which is super long on the album.
Yes.
And it is so enjoyable.
This song, it is all sorts of good.
Yeah. And that ending is just him just basically giving you the greatest hits of Johnny Gill's ability to vocalize.
Yeah. Oh, I know we say this so much, but this song is so, so good.
It's good.
When
It is
I used to run with music, this was on my running playlist. And anytime that I would struggle, I need to find Rub You the Right Way, and it would instantly pick me up.
Right. I mean, didn't you lose time because they caught you just dancing in the park instead of running?
Well, that's still a workout.
Right.
Especially if you dance the way Johnny Gill dances.
Right.
And again, I know he's nervous about his dancing when he joined New Edition. The man's got moves.
Oh, he does.
They're aggressive moves.
They are very aggressive. It feels like a good time to talk about that video.
Yeah.
I felt almost uncomfortable for him. Like I felt like he was trapped in a world that he didn't belong in because when you watch Every Little Step or any of the Bobby Brown videos,
Yeah.
Bobby Brown is the dancer.
Yeah.
And he can do this stuff and he's moving and he's so in touch with his body and the song and the
Yeah.
way he dances. Johnny Gill is fighting something where this song needs to have a video that's a lot more like Marky Mark's Good Vibrations. Is that New Jack Swing, Frank?
No.
Okay.
No.
But in that video, the way Marky Mark is kind of making his moves.
Yeah.
I know we talked about massage therapy, but if it were about something else, the Marky Mark video with him making his moves makes sense with
on
this
Tracy
song.
Bingham.
Yeah. But in this one, it's just Johnny Gill dancing so hard that you want him to stop. Like, what are you doing? You don't have to do this.
See, this is my thinking. He's dancing so hard and so aggressively that he needs to see a massage therapist after this song.
Most definitely. Oh, he'll have to see even one of those chiropractors.
See, it's more meta than you think, Bill.
I feel like he took Bobby Brown's outfits from Every Little Step and just wore them for the video. Even has the same haircut.
Yeah, that was the New Jack haircut.
Well, that's true. That's true. Now, they talked about Bobby Brown and Johnny Gill not getting along. It totally was not true. They would hang out, like Bobby Brown would stay at Johnny Gill's house at this time.
Yeah.
And so they said it was just this joke, and they'd be sitting there and they'd be seeing on the news that Bobby Brown and Johnny Gill didn't get along, and they'd be laughing.
Yeah, yeah. Because they reunited when New Edition got back together in 96.
Yeah.
So it was all 6 members.
Yeah.
It was Bobby Brown, Ralph Tresvant, Johnny Gill, Michael Bivins,
Can we just say Belle Biv DeVoe?
Belle Biv DeVoe, yeah.
Okay. Now, that video is exhausting to me. I don't even know what the point is in some ways, except that it's a big practice for Johnny Gill to get ready for a stage show.
Yeah, because it starts with like a little bit of a press conference.
Yeah.
And then it goes into some behind the scenes footage. But then it's just Johnny Gill on this set dancing, but the JGs.
Yeah. Because you have the women who are getting ready to dance.
Yes. But they never show up on stage.
No. And then he's dancing like a maniac.
Oh, yeah.
Like the video would have been much better if there was an audience there who were going crazy for what he was doing.
Yeah.
There's so many more things that could be done with this. There could have been at least a massage going on in this video.
Or a genie.
This also sounds like the worst massage ever because it's so fast.
Yeah.
That it's like, who does this? What are you doing? Slow down, Johnny. Slow down. I gotta say, the YouTube video, there's a newly uploaded version from the Johnny Gill site.
Oh, okay.
Looks really good. Like, it looks like high quality film.
Oh, okay.
So they're able to remaster it really well.
Oh, cool. Nice.
But the best version of this is not the video.
Are you talking the Arsenio Hall show?
Yes.
That was an amazing performance.
If you don't really believe what we're saying, you need to watch the Arsenio Hall Johnny Gill Rub You the Right Way performance, and you'll see a guy who's dancing like the maniac he is in the video.
Yeah.
But singing.
It's all live. All the instrumentation is all live. Johnny Gill is live. It's not pre-recorded or lip-synced or anything like that.
It's absolutely crazy because
It's amazing.
he has to stay in the same place to sing into the mic because he's able to get his mouth to the mic and do that wild dancing that he's doing and then still sing to the mic. And he pulls it off. Not only does he pull it off, by the end of that song, he's doing his New Jack swings. He's swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
He's New Jack swinging for the fences, Frank.
You just coined a new phrase, I think.
And he did. It was so fun to see. And at the very end, Arsenio Hall just jumps on him.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, way to go.
Yeah.
He almost does a running
runs on
jump.
the stage, yeah.
Yeah. So I was watching this interview with him where he talked about who his friends were. He says, I still have the same friends I had back in the day. And they said, who's your friends? And he's like, Arsenio. And he goes, Ray and Eddie. And then the interviews were great. The interviews were a guy named Tank and Jay Valentine, who are, I'm saying guys named, they're singer-songwriters who are well regarded in their own right, but they just started laughing at him like, oh, okay, Ray. He goes, yeah, Sugar Ray. Yeah, okay, Sugar Ray Leonard is one of your buddies. And Eddie, tell me who Eddie is, right? So he talked about his friends. Stevie was another friend of his. Wonder. That's insane.
Oh, not Stevie B?
No. Stevie B was not one of his friends. Poor Stevie B. But apparently he was on Arsenio Hall a ton because they were friends.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This life that they lead, kind of like our lives right now, because we got things are going wild. I think someone saw us once and someone explained to them that we had a podcast.
Yeah, and
then-
they asked what a podcast was.
Yeah, and it was like we were telling them all about the podcast. It was like Arsenio and Johnny Gill.
What I find really funny is last week when we were recording, my parents showed up and they said, "Oh, can you just stop your podcast in the middle?" It's like, yeah, it doesn't go live to air, Mom.
I like how it feels so natural.
Oh, I know, right?
We're in the 4th hour of this.
Yeah,
Over
this-
3 days.
I basically have to quit my job to edit these things.
Yeah. So we've talked about the video. We've talked about the amazing Arsenio Hall performance, which will be in the show notes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Let's do some categories.
Yeah.
You're cool with that?
Well, can we just, we'll talk a little bit about,
You want to talk more about New Jack Swing,
I want to
Frank?
talk so much more about New Jack Swing. No, Johnny Gill's career trajectory is really quite interesting. We brought it up to basically his third solo career. So he started off solo.
Yep.
Sorry, no, he started off with a group with his brothers,
Right.
the gospel group, right?
Yeah.
Then he was solo. Then he did that duet album with Stacy.
Yeah.
Then he did another solo album, then New Edition, then solo, then back with New Edition.
Right. Does he do another solo album or two, though, before Back with New Edition? I think he does.
Yeah, he does Johnny Gill and then Provocative in 93,
Right.
gets back with New Edition with Home Again in 96, but
Right.
also does Let's Get the Mood Right in 96 as well.
Right. Okay.
Then in 97, he teams up with Keith Sweat and Gerald Levert for LSG. So they do an album in 97 and 2003. And then in 2004, he's back with New Edition. And then 2011, 14, and 19, that's when he released more solo albums. So he's bounced between groups and trios and a duet and just all over the place. But from what I understand, he's just a consummate professional. Shows up, does his job,
Yeah.
and tries to stay away from the drama.
He does, and he refuses to like demand things. So
Yeah.
on his first tour, where he's getting paid like I think like $75,000 a night or something,
Oh,
which
seriously?
is like big in 1990s money.
Yeah.
And it was
Oh,
a tour with
absolutely.
Belle Biv DeVoe, and there was a couple other acts there.
Yeah.
And he just said, "I'll go on first. That's fine."
Yeah.
But those people should be worrying because you got to follow up Johnny Gill.
yeah.
That's incredible because he is a legit singer and a wild dancer.
He is a crazy performer.
How many calories do you think he burns on just Rub You the Right Way?
Well, the song or?
Well, here's the thing. In a massage, you'd expect to hear Enya,
Yeah.
right? Or Enigma, or anything that starts with an N.
Or an E.
Well, yeah. What, EN?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Ian McGlynn?
Well, we could reach out to him if he wants to do some massage music.
Do you
but
think he's done a massage album?
I think it's just waiting for him. But this song, I just never think of a song about massaging burning as many calories as this would. Or getting Frank to run faster than Ben Johnson against that horse in Prince Edward Island.
Well, yeah, that's where that race was, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Kind of sad.
Yeah. I told you the story about when I saw that guy look like Ben Johnson at a bar downtown and pointed at him and said, "Hey, that looks like Ben Johnson." Then he turned and looked at me and I realized it was Ben Johnson.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
When was this?
Yeah, maybe 99 or 2000.
Oh,
I
seriously?
immediately hid under a table, which was right in front of him. Like it just.
Wait, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he was looked really angry too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I laughed. I just noticed it was him
Yeah.
and then pointed at him. All right, there you go, Frank.
Well, there you go.
For
I
the
would have liked to meet Ben Johnson.
yeah. Well, I would have liked to have tried to meet him maybe before I said that's Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Pointed and laughed. All right, Frank. I got some categories for you.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
What kind of massage would you get to this song? I
Or
just
genie massage.
it'd be one of those like massages where they're hitting your back.
Oh, where they're like chopping you.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it would hurt and it would work, but
Yeah.
you'd be so exhausted you'd pass out afterwards. Yeah, I thought it was a really clever category. Next up, here's a new one for you, Frank. Have you ever watched a Hallmark movie? It doesn't matter. We're just going to still talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you have a Hallmark movie?
Yes.
Okay. You've seen a Hallmark movie?
No. No, I've never seen a Hallmark.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Should we even say that to the listeners?
Should we research one of these days and actually watch one?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Small town boy in Delaware.
Just a small town boy living in Delaware.
Exactly. Coastal town in Delaware. Is Delaware on the coast?
if you were to bring in a bulldozer and take out part of it and fill it with water, for sure.
So Delaware is not on the coast.
No, it is in the middle.
Okay.
But there might be a lake around there. For
Okay.
sure, there'd be lakes.
Okay. So there's some sort of lake in Delaware.
Yep.
No, Delaware's on the coast.
No way.
Look
Is
at
it?
this. I'm just looking at Google here.
I thought it was right next to Minnesota.
No.
Oh, no.
Your geography is so bad. It's beside New Jersey. It's,
No way.
yeah.
I have no idea. There's too many states.
Well, exactly. Look at this.
I never knew they have a place called Ocean City. Which
No, I
Frank
think that's
is on-
outside of Delaware.
Oh, where's that? Is it in
I don't know.
East Carolina?
The East Carolina.
I love our American listeners, and they've been very kind to us. And I feel kind of bad knowing I could not find any place on their map.
Oh, I know, right? Okay. Coastal town in Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
This small town young man is being pressured by his rich family to join the oyster farming.
Okay.
I'm assuming they farm oysters in Delaware
Yeah, for sure.
on the coast.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Next to Minnesota.
yes.
Yes. Okay. Continue.
He's walking on the beach, kicking stones. All of a sudden, kicks this weird thing. Turns out it's a lamp.
All right. All right.
This young man doesn't want to be an oyster farmer. He just wants to become a registered massage therapist. And all of a sudden, this genie comes out.
Right.
He has 3 wishes. He wishes for a couple of innocuous things, but then he has to decide, does he want to wish for his true life's passion, for his family to accept his dreams of becoming a registered massage therapist and give up the millionaire oyster farming business that his family has created? Or does he wish to find love with the girl in town who he's always been interested in, but too scared to make a move on?
Okay. A couple things.
Yes.
One is, and I'm not the first person to say this, but viewers will be annoyed because everyone knows the first wish for the genie is like 100 more wishes.
Okay, there's genie law.
Right. Okay.
You can't do that.
Oh, that's going to come up in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
Because he
That's-
tries.
Okay. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2 is I hope that instead of kicking it and it opens, he has to rub the genie lamp the right way.
Yes. Okay.
And then it's part where, because I like doing the Hallmark musicals.
Yeah.
And so he's doing the Hallmark musical where he's rubbing the lamp the right way.
Yeah.
Now, the girl that he's in love with in town, turns out she had been in a car accident and she's got back troubles. Yeah.
Yes.
And he doesn't even realize this, but he didn't even need the genie. The power was always in his own hands
Yes.
to bring healing to her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's dating a jerk
Well, of course she is.
who doesn't
Probably
want...
caused the accident
Yeah, yeah.
because he was
yeah.
on his phone.
So he's distracted driving. He doesn't care because he's trying to make the big sale because he's from a big city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like a rival, like lobster farmer or something like
Right, right. He just wants to make it corporate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's trying to take over this. Now, that doesn't work because his family's already millionaires because of the oysters.
Right.
The big thing we have to understand about this movie is Johnny Gill is playing the genie
Okay.
because he actually acts as well.
He's not going to be blue though, right?
No. Okay, so we're a little bit all over the place here. Anyways, he makes his choice to become a massage therapist because he thinks that he doesn't have a shot with this girl because her boyfriend who caused the accident, which gave her the back troubles.
Right.
He figures, well, it's a lost cause. Why force her into something that she doesn't want? Because he's a good person.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to wish her love. He wants that to happen naturally, which it does when she comes to him as a massage therapist and they find out that they're right for each other.
Right. And he's going to perform the perfect massage because it happens at the Delaware National Massage Therapist Championship.
Yeah, convention.
Convention.
I like the championship though.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm thinking really Karate Kid 1.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a tournament. And
Yeah.
because she's had so much back trouble, they had to bring all these massage therapists to compete to give her massages.
Yeah.
And no one is able to massage her the right way, Frank.
It's kind of like Cinderella.
Yeah.
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 Okay. It all ends with a wedding. Their wedding song is Here and Now.
Yeah.
And as soon as that ends, Rub You the Right Way comes on the dance floor, and the grandmother throws away her walker and dances like Johnny Gill.
Oh my goodness, yeah. That would kill the grandma just for her heart. But
Yeah. He can massage it back to health.
oh yeah, it's because the genie is going to save the
Yeah.
grandmother at the end.
Yeah.
And then they're going to get married.
Yes.
Okay.
This movie is all over the place.
It is. It will do really well. Won't be a high rating on Rotten Tomatoes except for the community votes.
Yeah.
Well, that was something. Okay. On to something else. You bring a mixtape today, Frank?
Yes, I did. I want to hear yours first, though.
All right. Well, I had a couple ideas. One was massage songs, but they're the worst joke I've ever come up with. Let me tell you some of them because I just was so proud of how stupid the joke was. You
Okay.
ready?
Yeah.
The Police, massage in a bottle. The Specials, a massage to you, Rudy. Grandmaster Flash, the massage. And finally, the Bee Gees, I've got to get a massage to you. I feel that's my worst, best joke ever.
That's a fantastic, awful joke.
Okay, so my actual mixtape are songs about massages.
Okay.
Genie in a Bottle, Christina Aguilera is my first one.
It works well with the theme of this song.
Yeah.
Because it's about genies.
That's right. Next up, Kathy Dennis, Touch Me All Night Long.
okay. Yeah.
It's massage music.
Yeah. Late night massages.
Yeah. Samantha Fox, Touch Me, bracket, I Want Your Body. Come on, Samantha.
Yeah.
Keep it clean. A little bit of New Jack Swing Man here. Michael Jackson, The Way You Make Me Feel.
Oh, okay.
Because of massages.
Yeah, yeah.
And finally, the Divinals said, I don't need you to massage. I can massage myself. And it's called I Touch Myself.
Wow.
There you go. All about massages.
All about massages.
Yeah.
There's nothing more adult about that mixtape than what you said.
We're trying so hard to be our PG. We don't have to put an E label beside it because we're doing a song about massages, right?
I know. No, I don't think so.
Okay, great.
Yeah. All right. I kept mine was pretty basic, and I apologize for this, but this is all songs similar, basically New Jack Swing, kind of classic.
This is what we need.
And this one would actually fit in with your mixtape, Feels Good by Tony Tone.
Yeah, there you go.
Just Got Paid by Johnny Kemp.
Right.
Hold On and Vogue.
Such a good song.
Yeah. Now That We Found Love by Heavy D and the Boys.
Right.
Now we're getting into some awesome, awesome songs.
All right, I'm ready.
Do Me by Belle Biv DeVoe.
Okay.
Humping Around, Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Finishing it all off with Under Pressure by Boys to Men.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, there we go.
Did I? Oh, and I missed it. Make You Sweat, Keith Sweat, which is honestly such a classic song about just working out and dancing.
Great workout song. Okay. Well, Frank, we did it. We finally were able to do a PG rated version of Johnny Gill's Rub You the Right Way.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I forgot to talk about this, actually.
Oh, the
I
history
got
of
more
New Jack.
about New Jack Swing.
Oh, my goodness.
No, the chart.
Yeah. Okay. Let's hear it.
Do you want to hear top 5 or top 10?
Well, I want top 10. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. This song peaked at number 3. And what's crazy about the song is it spent 2 weeks at number 4, then 2 weeks at number 3.
Oh, wow.
And that's the highest that it went. So the first week, it made it to number 3, the top 10.
This is on Billboard Hot 100, not the
Billboard-
R&B, because they did
Yes.
hit number 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yes. Bonkers top 10 here.
Okay.
Unskinny Bop by Poison,
Okay.
number 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold On by En Vogue,
Oh, yeah.
which was mentioned.
Yeah.
If Wishes Came True by Sweet Sensation.
Yes. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
When I'm Back on My Feet Again by my man, Michael Bolton, number 7.
Right on.
Girls Night Out, Tyler Collins. She Ain't Worth It, Glenn Medeiros featuring Bobby Brown.
And that did go to number 1 at some point.
That's
and
right.
That's a banger.
It was actually at number 1 the week before.
Oh, what a drop.
Yeah. The Power by Snap.
Oh, my goodness.
Number 3, Rub You the Right Way, Johnny Gill. Cradle of Love by Billy Idol, which was from one of your favorite movies, Ford Fairlane. Because you're such a big Andrew Dice Clay fan.
Well, because it was Ford Fairlane was done by our man who did Mary's Prayer with Danny Wilson.
Oh, right. Gary Clark.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I've never seen Ford Fairlane.
I know.
Okay.
And number 1, Vision of Love by Mariah Carey.
You can't help yourself there. Vision of Love was number one for like 4 or 5 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's so fun to hear the song, and I didn't really think a lot about the song. You brought it up for the last 3 years. And then when I finally re-listened, it just brought me back to 1990. And it's an awkward time for me because it's like grade 7.
Yeah, we're 13 years old.
Oh, it's not a happy time. But that music is so infectious, and it's pointing to a whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes. It's coming up with this type of music, and it's bringing in a whole other era of things.
That's another great Genie reference there.
Yeah, that's true. That was from Aladdin.
Aladdin,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
This song, this is my jam.
Oh, man, yeah.
And then growing up in a rural area where everyone else was into hard rock, and I mean, I was into hard rock a bit too, and alternative and grunge and all that other sort of stuff, but loving New Jack Swing, I was always ashamed to admit it.
Right.
And that's why I love this podcast, because I can just now just exclaim my love for this. Although I think you said that our very first conversation, I basically yelled out at you how much I love Boys to Men.
And I was talking about Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Might have been whispered tones as we looked at each other and walked towards the door.
Yeah.
And then decided we got to make a run for it when they find out we like this
Yeah.
stuff.
It's like, are we allowed to say these things?
Oh my goodness. Now we are. And now you are, dear listener. We hope that your genie bottle has been opened up and that you can finally speak your mind about what you love.
And we want to thank you for joining us on our discussion about Johnny Gill and New Jack Swing. And we really hope that this podcast rubs you the right way.
I can't say it any better than that, Frank. You've been listening to Bill and Frank's Guilt-Free Pleasures.
Do you think this song is actually about sex?
Oh, that makes a whole lot more sense. The genie thing was just trying way too hard.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's one take.